In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome each and every one of you all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Tell a neighbor, tell your sons or son, tell your daughters or daughter, co-workers, strangers, the clergymen, nieces, nephews, aunties, and uncles, pastors. I can go on and on. Business, moms, dad, housewives, house dad, you name it. Tell everyone the RPHC is on the air. Absolutely. There's no time like the present time. Thank each and every one of you all for listening and tuning in to the RPHC. Well, the only broadcasters or broadcast the truth which is so deeply rooted as well as written. This is the 5 o'clock hour Eastern Standard Time. Once again, you all are truly welcome. My. I'm going to start off. If y'all notice, I've been getting a lot of cliches, a lot of worldly sayings. I know why it is. And I want to share that with you all while you are listening. Why do folks say out of their own mouths when they get visually caught in something? And the first, you all probably already know, the first thing comes out of their mouth is not what you think. How is it not what I'm thinking? How is it that you're able to tell me what it is that I am thinking? But I broke it all down. They say it to play with your mind. So now, that which you just visualize with your own 2 crocodile eyes, do you all from what you first saw? The first is like a camera. It captured that first picture or pose that you can't get if you don't get it right then and there. And now, in your mind, you're focusing on what this individual just said to throw you off the course. Trying to throw you off with a silly question is not what you think it is. But let me get the benefactor out. Sometimes it truly isn't. But 99 out of the time, your intuition fills you up and you feel that all over from the sole of your head, from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. It definitely is what you saw. It definitely is what it is. It is what it is. Welcome again to the second part. It should be the conclusion of the battle cry. Before bringing forth Battle Cry Exclusive Part 2, let the RPHC enter in with a little open commentary. That was one of my train of thought of worldly sayings coming to my head. Open commentary in line with the exclusive message that needs to be taken to heart. When it's something that's taken to heart, see, this also lines up is not what you think. But when something is taken in heart, you can break it down in 3 categories. The first category will be hear, H-E-A-R. That's also in the word heart. The second would be ear. That's also in heart. Or you can also add art. Is an art to what you hear with your ear. In other words, train your heart. When you're training your heart, you're getting rid of the filth that's inside your heart. That's why you always need to ask the Lord, create in me a clean heart and a righteous spirit. And He will indeed do that. Because when you got that stony heart, you are not aware what that heart is capable of doing. That's why a lot of people get caught off guard when they hear about someone and they say, I didn't think they was like that. Because you have focused on the bodily frame of the individual and not studying the mindset or the heart. Because when people tell me something, the first thing coming out of my mouth, from the abundance of the heart, the mouth will speak. See, you can't see me, but I'm moving my hands up and down like a balancing scale. And out of the heart flows the issues of life. So your heart really is your video recorder of your life. And I think all of that plays back in God's chamber. All He had to do is rewind. Yeah, created me a clean heart and a righteous spirit. And He will do that. And when you're born again, the same effect happens. All that was built, and the Lord still cleaning out our hearts. He started cleaning. He never stopped cleaning. Because you'll be around individual, something didn't been passed or you saw something. The Lord don't want that to mess up what He got going within your life, the progress on which you're heading in. So that's why He removed people. That's why He removed certain things out of your diet. When I say diet, it's not the diet that you're trying to lose weight. Your diet is your main course of what you eat daily. That is also called a diet because it's your eating. If you've ever been in the hospital, they'll hand you a slip, and on top of it say diet. You pick off from that menu what it is that you would like to have to eat from. And sometimes you can get it when you was in high school, but, we always had the hot line, and we know one line regular with the cheeseburger, hot dogs, the same old, and hot fries. So that's what it is. When He giving you a new diet to eat, He wants you to stay on that regimen for a while. Eat this, eat that, because you don't know what the battle that you're coming against or what it is up ahead on your journey. So everything that Christ does, once you see Christ, you've seen the Father. It is out of love. Everything He does for you is out of love. Now let me get on because we got to finish this up. Now, the heart, I was letting you all focus on the detrimental of the heart, if I can get it out. The detrimental of the heart, all right, is grounded and rooted. When you understanding the complexities of war, you in turn will understand life in general. So, now I'm asking a question. Understanding of the complexities of war. Do you know how the war began or how war within an individual function? Battles are like war. They occur out of the midst, just as life. You are in the midst of life. Out of nowhere, things will occur. But you, yourself, must be ready and fully armored up. It's essential that you be armored up. Now you asking, what should you be armored up with? First thing first, your mindset, in that your heart is able to withstand what it is that life is bringing forth to you. Are you able to handle it? We are all men. We are all women. And the battles that exist takes on a different format for each and every one of us that are listening. Some battles you see others in, you can say, oh, I can breeze through that, because that's the battle that was handed to them. But on the other hand, when your battle arises, it seems like you got the storm on top of storm on top of storm. At least on my end, it do. But that's the casualty of life. Every battle is different. But in actuality, you must be prepared. Out of nowhere, things will occur, but you yourself must be ready. I went over it twice. Just as for the wars that are going on, you can go in ready and prepared, not knowing the outcome of your battle. Pretty much, you, for one, are aiming to what? To win or have victory. When you have your own personal wars of a life that you have to battle, you already know it's a head-on battle. Because now you have been confronted. Now when you be confronted, here come the confrontation. You got to be ready. You got to know how you're going to handle this situation. I got to know what I'm going to say, what I'm going to speak, so that I can come out on top. That's being prepared. See, a lot of people have got laid back in life. And Satan is sending all types of people with different personalities, different spirits up in them, different situation, and see how would you react. It'll come out of nowhere. And then some people say, what is all this? But you wouldn't be battling if it wasn't something good. That's what it is. When it's something real good, Satan, he don't like it. He don't want it to go down. He don't want it to transpire. He does everything he can. He'll even throw in the kitchen sink if he had to slow it. But how many of you know what God has ordained? Can't no man stop it. See, that's where their mindset is messed up at. God's hands are always in something. I always ask the Lord, use your hand in my situation. Because he got to move it out of my way. You already know it's a head-on battle. And you're going in with what you have. In other words, I'm going to give it all I got. If God got a battle for something that belonged to me and God said it's mine, oh, shooky now. I'm going down. I'm not going down as to go down and fall down on the ground. I'm going down there too to pray. But I'm going down, but I'm coming back with my weapons of warfare. That's the same in a battle. People launching into something they don't have no idea what they jumping in. They just jumping on in there. I'm going in with what I have. In other words, I'm going in there to stir the pot. I'm going to show you what I'm cooking with. I don't know what you're cooking with in your kitchen. I'm going to show you what I'm cooking with. It's a battle cry. To say the least, just know when you don't fight the battles which rises up in your life, life says this: when you are handed lemons, make lemonade. Far-fetched from me. I don't even roll like that one. Lemonade, all right. It ain't my first go-to juice, though, but it's all right. The one thing you should do, and you heard it from the RPHC, go to St. John, chapter 14, 1 and 27. Let me show you something. Let me share it with you. And hopefully, this would make your battle a little easy and your burdens light. That's St. John chapter 14. Verse 1. I'm not going to read all of them. Then we're going to jump over to verse 27. Verse 1, what it says. Let not. First thing, I ain't finna let not your heart be troubled. See, even though it may be 10,000 up against me, I'm the only one. I'm the only one. But I ain't finna let my heart be troubled. Because now I got to look at this thing in the spiritual realm. They got all them in the physical. They can't see my angels that's backing me up. So I got to think, and what I think will alter the outcome of the battle. Now, how would I present myself? Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. So now I got the Father on my left. I got JC on my right. So now, my heart ain't troubled. I'm laid back. It's going to be a breeze. It's going to be a breeze. But on the forefront, it looks like I'm about to get it. I'm about to get it, though. I'm about to get it in. Now, let's go over to verse 27. Like I said, I'm not going to read the entire, but if you on your own study time, you can read the whole chapter. Because all of it is elevating. Verse 27 said, I'm going to go with the 26 to 27. But the helper, see, I got a helper. They didn't see my helper. I got a helper. Watch what this helper does. I sound so funny saying that. But anyway, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he will teach you all things. Teach me all things. Take the word teach. In teach, you got your cup of tea. Even though y'all don't drink tea, but some of you all do. Then each. He come to teach each and every one of us what it is we need to know. And bring it to your remembrance. That's that membrane. That remembrance is your membrane. All things that I said to you. So now, my Father said to me, let not my heart be troubled. Did he not? We just read it. He said, let not your heart be troubled, and believe in him. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give to you. Not as the world peace. See, the world will say it's peace, and next thing you know, it's chaos on the other side of time. I give to you, not as the world gives, do I give to you. Let not your heart, that heart again, be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Did y'all catch that? That's the verse 27. Be not afraid. Let not thy heart be troubled. Seeing that the battle will arise, don't even bother making lemonade. I'm at peace. In order to get that peace, it got to be, your mind got to focus on JC. It got to be focused. Not in the kitchen talking about I got lemonade. I'm finna drink some lemonade. Because once you start making that lemonade, now you've been thrown off the course. You in there stirring the lemonade up, slicing the lemonade, squeezing the lemonade. Oh, which pitcher should I use? How much sugar should I put in now? Now your battle mind is not focused on the attack that was coming. But you can alleviate all that by just being in peace. Let not your heart be troubled. Believe in Jesus Christ. Some people might not even have lemonades in their refrigerator or lemons. So how they gonna make something when they in battle? And back in time, we would hardly even be able to get lemons. So you know what that's all about. Now, the battle is heated. Because as you gain control of the war at the end of the day, you want to have your peace, your stability, your peace of mind. And with the peace come, when all that peace goes out, when that peace come in, all that other go out, that anxiety and all that you're going through, your peace is the assurance and trust that your heart will be at ease in the very midst of the storm. And when it's at peace, these are the first thing you will say out of your mouth. This too shall pass, because trouble don't last always, nor do wars. At the end come victory. The victory is mine. Now, remember, hold on to that and walk well with it, because it's worthy of its saying. It is worthy of its saying. Is it not? Let not your heart be troubled. And that's the way it is going over there in Israel, in Iran. A lot of people of God is over there. It is what it is. They got to weigh it out, battle it out, and go through it. I left off at Zechariah chapter 14, 1 through 2, verses, first and second verse. I'm not going there on today. What nation just been led into the fight Jerusalem or fight Iran? The U.S. States of America. They launched that missile, and when they launched it, they just opened up a whole can. And as you read in verse 1, foretells it all, which was mentioned on this channel, Christ is soon to return. This is what it's all about. He's on his way back. So the battle has now been turned up 7 times 7. When it said, behold, in Zechariah 14 and 1, it means to look. The day of the Lord is coming. These wars is moving out. He can't come through with all his junk. He can't enter in with all this chaos around him and all this darkness that has filtrated the planet. Whether you in the city or the country, it got to get cleaned out. That's what the rain does. It has to clean things out. The snow, it frees all the pestilence and the diseases that are going about. Stuff that would normally get infected can't get infected. It's froze. When it freezes up, Lord make sure it rains so it can make ice. And they tell people, everybody think the ice, they want to worry about how they going to get somewhere, how they going to drive. But see, the war is in the air as well. The battle. So but only the Lord's children really would recognize all these things that he does for us because he loves us. Then that big hail come down when the little snow ain't doing what it's supposed to do. And then one city is worse than the other, so they get that hailstorm. Recognize now, start recognize the signs. One city get whooped up worse than the other because they doing something they ain't got no business. And then other cities got more prayer warriors in it than another city. So all these things go hand in hand. And when that sun comes out, it's to freshen things up. Spring, it's time to get things now in order. It's time to let everybody know he's still in control. And all that he does it out of love. And as you read in verse 1 in the book of Zechariah, it foretells it all which was mentioned on this channel. Christ is soon to return. Yeah, I brought it back forward to the forefront for y'all for the second time, so that you all may hear what I said. Christ is soon to return. And I spoke it earlier in part 1. This is Christ's second coming. Not his first, his second. So if you haven't done anything since he came back the first time, you need to get on the battlefield and do what you need to do. Because, like I said, behold, meaning to look. The day of the Lord is coming, and all that you have or own will be divided right before your face or your eyes, right in the midst. Notice he gathered all the nations to Jerusalem to fight against it. That's the warfare. See, Iran is right in, I don't know how many kilometers or meters or miles from Iran is from Jerusalem, but I guarantee you that territory, that Jerusalem is in the vicinity in there. Jerusalem will be sieged and captured. Captured. All right. The houses ransacked and the women will be taken advantage of. I spoke this all in part 1. But to bring us back in alignment, I have to go there and bring you all back into the message, the exclusive message. Need I mention Armageddon has not happened yet. So you know in the battle of Armageddon, America will be included with the nations. See, we are part of a nation. Not just culture-wise, not just ethnic-wise. We are all part of the United States of America nation. One nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all. Armageddon will be the final battle. There's another one before that. The East against the West will be that battle. Once the final fourth beast, as spoken about in the book of Revelation, it is from there that we will see, and we will see the assemble and the Armageddon began to war against the Europeans. You don't hear France and all them battling no more. They quiet as kept. The Europeans are over that way. The Europeans. That's when the real battle gonna come in. See, over there is all the good wine press and all that. The grapes, the vintage. Because, see, they part of the Latins. Everybody been mixed up and sent where they need to be sent. There will be kings with a mass or the army. That would be the time the Lord will be leveling up the playing fields, to be precise. Let us go to First Peter chapter 1. I'm going to be reading verses 1. Let's go First Peter chapter 1, and I'm going to be reading verses 11 to 20. No, we do not have any music. Music should be in your heart, in your mind, in your soul. But here a little bit. Victory is mine. Victory is mine. Victory today is mine. I told Satan to get thee behind. Victory today is mine. Yeah. All right. Let us read. First Peter chapter 1, starting at verse 11. Searching what manner of time the Spirit of Christ who was in them was indicating when he testified beforehand the suffering of Christ and the glories that will follow. That's Christ and his battle and all that he had to ensue before they hung him on a cross, and how he also will return after the hanging on the cross. To them it was revealed that not to themselves but to us they were ministering the things which now have been reported to you through those who have preached the gospel to you by the Holy Spirit sent from heaven, things which angels desire to look into. See, I desire to look into, why is the battles? Why is the wars going on? Why is this the sorrows of time when we hear about these things? And what was Christ's sole mission when he returned to earth? Besides taking up all of our sin, he who knew no sin. Therefore, gird up the loins of your mind. See that mind thing again. See, it's a battle. If you hear that war going on in another city, another country, third world, and it ain't part of you, you still need to gird up your mind, because missile can fly anywhere. Oh yeah, they can fly anywhere they like. And hold tight, y'all. Give me one moment. All right, I return. Therefore, gird up the loins of your mind. Be sober, and rest your hope fully upon the grace that is to be brought to you at the revelation of Jesus Christ. See, understand the climax of why Christ was sent to the earth. Revelation about him is stored up in him. You wouldn't know of him if you don't study him. You don't know what he's capable of doing if you don't call upon him. He has the answer that you need. And he also specified, when I lead this, I'm not going to leave you like that. I'm not going to leave y'all hanging, not holding on to nothing. I got your back. Front, side, whatever, I got you. And he left us the Holy Spirit. Now, as obedient children, not conforming yourself to the former lust as in your ignorance. See, ignorant Ignorant will get you messed up. Ignorance will get you messed up. Oh, yes. But you have to be prepared when you're in battle. And that's why you can't let your flesh outrule you. Your flesh can get you messed up. Because, see, especially if it's in its former lust stage, things that come to you, Satan, sin, you think it's all right. Not knowing it's there to hurt you, to destroy you, and to harm you. And to get you sidetracked from what God has in store for you. Many of us forget when you're praying for something, you have to initially believe that it's going to come. What you saying in prayer if you don't believe it's going to happen? And when that prayer do show up, what you got to do? Just like being in battle, you got to be ready to receive it. No joke. But this part y'all really got to see. But as he who called you is holy, you also be holy in all your conduct. Yeah, that's why you can't be around here doing everything and anything and not trying to be holy. You got to be holy. Be ye holy, for he is also holy. He ain't taking no dirt with him. He don't want no trash hanging with him. He have to clean your heart out. He got to get you ready before the kingdom come. And if you call on the Father, who without partiality judges according to each one's work, conduct yourselves throughout the time of your stay here in fear, meaning fear the Lord Jesus Christ. These other folk, that ain't the ones you should be fearing. And them folks that you fearing ain't got none on JC neither. Jesus Christ. I say that when I'm in the street, but a couple of times I just said it over the air. Just initials. But you know, religious folks have something to say about everything. That's what they all do. They just religious. That's all. I ain't gonna even say what I'm thinking. I'm gonna keep pushing, because that ain't even my battle. And if you call, see, on the Father, call, knowing that you were not redeemed, after he done pulled you up out of the world, you're not redeemed with corruptible things. Some of these things out here is corruptible. You can't even see it. When you can't see it, that means you're in darkness with it. If you cannot see it, you have turned a blind eye to it. The corruptible things like silver or gold from your aimless conduct received by that word, tradition, from your fathers. In other words, what you thought was right, what you've been taught, now that you have got of age and you don't do no studying to show thyself approved, that you be a workman not ashamed, rightly dividing the truth. When I got of age and I say I can go study this, I don't have to be going through what I keep going through, because I ain't no telling what my kin folks was up into. They were doing something to everything. But I know what a lot of them was. And I believe a lot of them still is. Some of them in there. It ain't time to tell it yet, but it's coming. Because a lot of people used to thought that was me. Thought I was like that, and I did that way. And they, oh man, I had to tell them out front. No. But you dress? No. Yeah, whatever. Back to God's word at hand. but with the precious blood of Christ, as of a lamb without blemish and without spot. He indeed was foreordained before the foundation of the world. See, the world wasn't even created yet when God had Christ in mind, but was manifested in these last times for you. In these last days, he is on the scene for you again. In his second coming, his second return. But when he comes, you got to be cleaned out. You got to be cleansed from all that filth. You can't run with him if you got the in you, I'm telling you. Ask him to create in you a clean heart. He will do it. He will make you white as snow. Purge me with hyssop and make me white as snow. Let us also level it up at Leviticus 20 and 26. Remember, all this had to do with the war going on. He got to cleanse the land. Leviticus chapter 20 and 26. Look at that. That's today's date. All day long, every day. (26, 6, 2025). We getting a field of rain and storms and dark clouds, because the battle is in heaven and the battle is on ground. All that rumbling and thundering ain't going on for nothing, y'all. He touching the hearts of those that are in the army. He touching those hearts in the army of the born-again Christians. We are at battle, the chosen ones, so we got to watch out for every sign. Everybody there? Verse 26. You shall there. Let me go on to verse 25. That be the Lord, y'all, I'm telling you. You shall therefore distinguish between clean animals and unclean, between unclean birds and clean, and you shall make yourselves abominable by beast or by bird or by any kind of living thing that creeps on the ground, which I have separated from you as unclean. See, there's a lot of little things people overlook about the animals and why we are separated from certain animals and not conjoined with some of them that we see, or being the same inhabitants, I shall say. Verse 26, and you shall be holy. See, that's why you got to keep away from some animals. We all know rats are what? Rodents. Rats are poisonous. Rats ain't got no business around people's house. People ain't got no business living where rats are living. But yet they do, because of their mindset. Their mindset has not been changed, and they ain't going to try to move. They say it's better for them there, but it's not. If you know what rodents really do, it's time to go. It's time to pack up. Roaches too. But that ain't my message. I got exclusive for the war, the battle at hand. And you shall be holy to me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have separated you from the peoples, that you shall be mine. Can't be like everybody else, especially when God got his hands on you. He has separated you just like he separated them animals in verse 25. Let me move right along. Of 200 million, a jaw-dropping figure. You might be wondering what I'm speaking on. Many times larger than any force ever amassed in the history of mankind, about the war battlefield history. What I noticed was the figure that I mentioned was just a rough draft. These impressive figures that was calculated by me of the 200 million men force, and how I came up with a solid 200 figure. If this in one is supposed to be, I'm recapping. The Million Man March that occurred, everybody know the year it occurred, in that century, and randomly, in that year rather, and randomly doubled the multitudes of men that attended in Washington, D.C. You all need to go back and recap how many African American and some Caucasian, some Latinos, Hispanics. I'm not certain if I saw any Asians or not, but they were all there too in Greek. But basically, notice how many came in full force. This is the way it is when the army is getting prepared, getting ready for battle. They coming in deep. D.C., as we speak, was shut down, not during the Million Man March, but last week or the week before. I can't recall why they shut it down. The Asians have not even been included in a staggering force that are about to seize and about to battle. Think how many it is of them. I'm preparing you all because the little wars that going on now ain't near about finna master up to when Armageddon get ready to come. And if some will still be around on earth, we'll get a chance to visualize it. And it's all depends on which Eastern country is also included in that battle. And it's not very difficult to reach a combined total. According to the nations within the populations in the world society of 3 to 4 billion of people, even by accepting the low end of my estimate of figures, demographically to build a military of 200 million. When the war, get ready to war, it's going to war. And you wonder why I keep speaking of Latino, because the Latinos are the Europeans. Basically, a lot of them. And you know, y'all know mafia. The mafia. All right. See, this is just the tip of the iceberg that is happening in the foundation of the world on the earth. There's the Latino or Latin Americans could produce an army roughly of 48 million. The African Americans, 70 million. So the United States is pulling in or rounding up to 250 million adults generally. Let me get back into the exclusive message because I done took y'all off about these figures, and that ain't what y'all supposed to be thinking of. Let me get back to the message, the exclusive message, and get out these population estimates. Let me say this, that million may had already overlooked the wars that are now heading over to the east. Millions have already overlooked. Because see, In other words, let me briefly say this before I go on into the next part of the message. In many cases, many of you all need to get out of the back seat, the passenger seat, and get back into the driver's seat of your life. Because many of them pulled you out where you shouldn't be. Too many have been directly pushed out of their rightful position. Don't allow nobody or no one to hold your seat but you. It's your seat. It was given to you by the Creator. The enemy, and I'm going to keep saying it, wouldn't be fighting if it wasn't something important that you should have. He get to fighting when he don't want you to obtain what you need. He's go to fighting. I mean, battles out of nowhere that you haven't even seen. The coming of Christ shall be also checked out. There are so many hints given in the Bible when and how he's going to be returned. I gave you one of them. He's coming from that east. When he returned, he coming from the east. My. Let us go to the book of St. Matthew, chapter 24, and I'm going to be reading verse 27. I told y'all, I'm going to give y'all the gates. There's so many gates that people are not even familiar with. But the RPHC going to lay it out so you can know what the gates are. Besides the eye gate and the ear gate and the mouth gate, and the eye gate. Are you there? St. Matthew 24 and 27 reads, "For as the lightning comes from the east, and the flashes to the west, so also will the coming of the Son of Man be." Did you hear what he said? You got the religious folk. They'll tell you in an instant. Don't nobody know when Christ return, but he's soon to return. He gonna come like a thief in the night. And what else did he say? They can't tell you. So this come to fall in the way of God's people. Many of them are not attending the church because of what they're teaching. A lot of them are teaching nothing but for filthy gain, filthy lucre. And people are getting disappointed. They're getting tired of the same old, same old. And some of them just go because some people keep begging and asking them to go. But then they go, when they come from where they went, they come out even more disappointed because their problem is still weighing heavy on them. Let us read more. Go to Hebrews chapter 9, verse 28. I'm not putting these in the description box, y'all. Y'all got to be writing this stuff down. Be writing these scriptures so you go back and review them for yourself. So you to have the up and up. They quick to tell you that. I get a lot of people trying to challenge me. I ain't here for no debate. I ain't here to argue. And I ain't going to say nothing. I just be quiet. You think what you think. I told you, I had someone told me they don't even think about Jesus Christ. I only know one way, and that's the only God. And I'm trying to tell this individual, you can't have Jesus Christ without God. They work hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. It's like peanut butter and jelly. On the real strength. It's like grits and eggs to me. You got to have, whatever I get grits, give me my eggs and grits together. Verse 28. So Christ, y'all in chapter 9. So Christ was offered once to bear the sins of many. That's the first time I told y'all when he came. That was part of his agenda. That was part of his work. That was on his itinerary. We had to go through it. And the battles that each one of us get, we have to go through it. We have to carry our cross. We have to carry our cup. My cup is different from your cup. My cross is different from your cross. But I got to carry because it's mine to carry. And when one become as two and you can join together, then it'll be both of our cross to carry. It'll be both of our cups that we have to carry together. But togetherness is to overcome. We'll become a union then. It's not good that man be alone. It's already written. It's in the scripture, y'all. I'm telling y'all what God already knew beforehand, before we even came to this earth. All right. Are you there with me? Let's read. Verse 28 says, "So Christ was offered once to bear the sins of many. To those who eagerly wait for him, he will appear." What that say now? A second time. A second time. Apart from sin. For salvation. That means you best to be ready. When he come the second time, he gonna pull you out. He just gonna look at you and say, "Come." He might not even do that. He just might just take them that is ready all up, which is written in the scripture too. And he gonna leave them that ain't ready down here amidst the battle of Armageddon. There's something for y'all to read. Now, go with me to the book of St. Luke, chapter 19. I'll be reading verses 36 to 37. Will you be ready when he comes? Seems like all this week and last week I've been mentioning that, and you all ago, they were saying that. Back in my time, they were saying that when I was growing up. They were saying it, but they didn't add the rest of it to it. They didn't add, you better be ready. Pardon me, you better be ready when it comes. I'm serious. You all, when New Jerusalem come down and I don't see some of the folks and Kim folks and folks that I thought should be there and ain't there, I know where you went, but I can't come and visit. That's a no-no on my book. Verse 36 says, and I'm in St. Luke, "And as he went, many spread their clothes on the road." Now this is when Christ came through there with the donkey and all that. Y'all didn't read about it. Am I right? Yeah. Now verse 37. "Then as he was now drawing near the descent of the Mount of Olives, the whole multitude of the disciples began to rejoice and praise God with a loud voice for all the mighty works they had seen." And I got to do 38. "Saying, Blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord. Peace in heaven and glory in the highest." In the highest. Now, did you notice it didn't say 12 disciples? It said multitudes of disciples. They had laid their clothes all out, like the red carpet, so that he can walk through on the donkey. That's how Christ entered through, and that's how he gonna enter through the east gate. Now, everybody should know John 3:16. If you don't, let us just go over it for old time's sake. Because you hear a lot of people quoting it, but do they stand for what it is quoted for? St. John 3:16. Will you be ready when he comes? I want to be ready when he comes. So you be in that army of the Lord. I got a lot of old ones. I don't know what take me a minute to get to John 3:16. Come on now. Oh, I forgot you all. Yeah, my new Bible. All right. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, and whomever you may be, believes in him, you shall not what? Perish, but have everlasting life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. So see, y'all focusing on what's going on up in this noisy world and forgetting about your salvation. Forgetting about you. And people say, oh, I love myself. Do you really? When you love yourself, come up out of that darkness. When you love yourself, leave that junk that ain't good for you behind. I don't care if it's family members. I don't care if it's he, she, free girls, men, whoever. If they're not friends, if they ain't for you, drop them. Get rid of them. They making your character bad. They making you all out of whack. They making trouble for you. Could I put it like that? The friends that you knew at that time, whatever you was going to do, they was cool, yeah. But you're elevating. You're growing. You're growing. You're growing. And sometimes it do take something, you have to just break it. Just break it. Free yourself. Free your mind. Because if you don't, you're going to wear your own self out with the same people doing the same old. And when they don't want you to go, that's because they've been leaning on you all along. You was the pot. They make sure that you come. Wherever's going down, they got to call you because they know you're going to dish out whatever it is that they need. They might pinch in, but ain't going to pitch in as much as you be pinching in. And some people go, ooh, they the life of the... You could be the life of the party and the ignorant one of it too. For real. If you didn't catch yourself. If you don't catch yourself. Uh-oh. All right. I'm going to end it when I get through right here, and I'll be back with part 3. I thought I can get it in there, but I talk. The voice of the heavens be up on me. All right, let me conclude. Let me get on. We all know about John 3:16. Many will come from the east, Yahshua, and Yahshua will go to battle. Zechariah, go to the book of Zechariah 4, chapter 14, 3, verses 3 through 4. We be in the book of Zechariah a lot. Free your mind. Take the battle. I keep hearing that. Lord, and drop that in my spirit. That's right. Free your mind. Your mind. Your mind is the whole thing that functions your whole entire body. It don't sit on top of your shoulder just to be sitting up there. But you got to be ready. Because you got some people will try to belittle you and say all manner sorts of things about you. So they can look good and make you feel bad about yourself. So you don't go into the seat that you are called to be seated in. Their whole job when they around you, and you got to find out who they are, they come to do their assignment. But you got to be your mind. Don't let your heart be troubled. Back in Zechariah 14, 3 and 4. Again. Behold, The day of the Lord is coming, and your spoil will be divided in your midst. For I will gather all the nations to battle against Jerusalem. The city shall be taken, the houses raffled, and the women ravished. Half of the city shall go into captivity, but the remnant of the people shall not be cut off from the city. The remnant, he is saying, is only a handful. Then the Lord will go forth and fight against those nations as he fights in the day of battle. And in that day his feet will stand on Mount Olives, which faces Jerusalem on the east, and the Mount of Olives shall be split in two from east to west, making a very large valley. Half of the mountain shall move toward the north, and half of it toward the south. See, just as we just read out of the book of St. Luke, the Mount of Olives ain't no joke. You can get a visual intake about the war on ground. The war consists and carried to the rivals that do not see eye to eye. That's how the battle grows, rivalry. And I get a chance to speak more about rivals in part 3, since I know I won't have the time granted to me on this in this hour. We're in another hour by now. That do not see. They don't see the battle at hand, even after the clashing against one another. Do know that acts of rivalry and enmity are not of God, but from the source of Satan, who tempts us to give into the desires of the flesh. And the war it is stemmed by desiring land and property. See, a lot of things come about because of this. From other nations, other family members, other individuals. Notice the evidence that's bringing about rivalry of war. See, it's things that stir up individuals, or individuals, a group of individuals. Let me read. Let us go to Galatians chapter 5. Then I'm going to have to really, before I go on the next one, before we go into Matthew, I have to go to Revelation 22, 12, and 13. Galatians chapter 5. Now remember, this is the evidence of why jealousy and all this stuff come about, and why people got to do what they think they got to do. Petty, man, for real. That's why you have to ask the Lord for a clean heart. Just as my heart is capable of doing what it needs to do, yours can do it as well. But you got to free your mind. All right. Are you ready? Here are the evidence. Verse 19 says, "Now, the works of the flesh are evident, which are adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lewdness, idolatry, sorcery, hatred, contentions, jealousies, outbursts of wrath, self-ambitions, decisions, heresies, envy, murders, drunkenness, rivalries, and the like, of which I tell you beforehand, just as I also told you in time past, that those who practice such things will not inherit the kingdom of God." See, y'all battling with all this craziness stuff, but no one never told you. You keep doing these things that you're doing, you ain't going to be in the kingdom. You ain't going to see New Jerusalem coming down. You really won't. You done already set yourself out, and them around you making sure you don't go, because they making sure you do what they want you to do with them. So that means they ain't good for you neither, because they ain't looking out for your soul, nor your heart, nor your mind. They keep entrapping you in sin, on top of sin, on top of sin, until you start learning to say no. Resist temptation and it'll flee from you. Flee from the devil, he'll flee from you. This is why you have to ask the Lord to give you a clean heart, so that whatever in your heart, don't lust after the things that you don't want to do no more. I don't want to be like this no more. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. And this is not only good for you, it's good for the people around you. You can show them, I can change. I can be different. This ain't me. This ain't me. I got a head on my shoulder. I can think for myself. That's why they quick to tell you, it ain't what you think. What? Really? Verse 26. Let us not become conceited, provoking one another, envying one another. When you do that, that brings all that rivalry, tension, anger, arguments, all that. If you're smarter than that individual, it ain't your fault. But you don't need to stand there and try to explain yourself. Just say, I got to go. Male or female, I can't. It is what you think it. I can't change the way you think. But I know I'm not that what you keep claiming me to be. I'm not none of that. While we're in the book of Galatians, before I check out and we go over here to Revelation, let's go over to chapter 6 of Galatians. Stay right where you are. Where you should be not deceived. The Lord tells you that often. I say it as often as I need to on this channel. The RPHC, stop being deceived. Many of you all are being deceived, and many of you all are smart as a whip. May you be male or female. And they keep you in that type of mode so you don't wake yourself up out of what you know. You hear it in your mind, but you don't act on it. You feel it in your heart, but you don't act on it. You need to start acting. Many of y'all need to get back in the driver's seat and drive yourself. Come up out that back seat. Come off that passenger seat. Lock your doors if you got it, to keep some people out, but lock it. This is the season, you all. The Lord is preparing his army. He is preparing his children. Let us start at verse 1, and I'm going to read all the way to verse 8. You got to understand the ins and the out of life battles when you are being tempted. Brethren, if a man is overtaken in any trespass, I just want to make sure I'm reading verses 1 through 8. If a man is overtaken in any trespasses, you who are spiritual, restore each a one in a spirit of gentleness, concerning yourself, lest you also be tempted. So you got to come in there with God's grace. I don't care how tempting it looks. I don't care if they put it on a platter. I'm not accepting it because I know what's behind it and why I'm being offered it. That's when resistance come in. You got to really tame that flesh. You got to put it under subjection. I'm telling you, you got to. Whether it be from you trying to steal, anybody that you may be involved with, and you trying to live a righteous life, trying to get away from all this negativity, you got to do what you got to do. If it's drinking, smoking cigarettes, get away from it. You who are spiritual, restore such a one in a spirit. In other words, we're going to do what verse 2 is saying. Bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. Love thy neighbor as you will love thyself. That's the second and the greatest commandment. Are you your brother's keeper? Yes. Are you your sister's keeper? Yes. But many of you all that's in battle, you're allowing individuals to get away with what they're getting away with. And that's why they keep doing it. They're like, oh, you ain't going to confront me because what would they say? I'm the one that doing this for you. I'm the one that, yeah, but they also are the one that's giving you the migraines. They also the ones that are making you overwhelmed with stuff that you shouldn't even be overwhelmed with. As you look back, as the Lord speaking to you all now, look at the battle you're already in. Look at the folks around you and what have they given to you to help you stand and be strong in this war of your own that you're battling in. Or are they selfish like we read about? Could they be selfish? Heresies, decisions, tensions, contentions, uncleanness, fornicators, lewdness, adulterers. They all there. The Lord named them all. Murderers, drunkards, it's all there. For if anyone thinks himself to be something when he is nothing, he is deceiving himself. My. That's these folk with their pride and that ego. Yeah, that ego. Not the ego that fly, egotistical folks. Them that think they better than other folks because some people might be going through something. I know how to bound and to abase. I know what it is to have and I know what it is not to have. And each time I have always been humbled. He tests us. He give us little before he make you riches, before he make you rich for many, of things you get. He'll make you ruler over much when he see that which you have done with the little he has given you. But somebody get the big at it and forget it's the one that supply. Christ is the one that really supplies everything that you get. It's from his strength to you able to use your limbs, your legs, your arms to do anything that needs to be done. So can't nobody really sit up here and say, if it wasn't for me, if it wasn't for you, maybe I'd be a little farther where I should be. Is that what you're trying to say? Because if you did whatever you did, God put it on your heart to do it. And some of them he sent to do it, they ain't even done and they won't do it. Because they got pride. You got to watch yourself. We're in a battle every day. But, verse 4, let each one examine his own work, and then he will have rejoicing in himself alone and not in another. See? When you know who been there with you through thick and thin, the one who's got your back, you will always be happy. Because you know who it is that waters your grass. You know who it is that pours into you. You would know what it is that Christ has done for you and not mankind. You would actually know. Some people like to do stuff for people so they can get recognition. But no, be not deceived. Recognize when they want recognition. They only doing it to get recognition so they can have a trap for you. And when they place that trap, and once you accept it, don't you remember the time when I did this? Don't you remember the time? Only Satan reminds you of what he's done. The Lord. And the Lord would not hold nothing good from you. So remember that. for those that need to hear what the Spirit is saying. For each one shall bear his own load. They supposed to bear their own load. Some of you all, and I do mean a lot of you all, and I'm going to tell you just like somebody gave it to me. You know all the nibbles that's on a cow, the Orello, where the milk and all that come? A lot of you all chest is like that now. And many of y'all are getting milked for what folks can get out of you. And you're just draining. And you're just going, moo, moo. They need to move out your way. And when a cow get tired, they start to kicking. And when the flies get too many, they swing that hard tail and knocks them out the way. Remember, every time you elevate and you increase, new demons, but in a different format, and you'll get new people that would think like you think, operate as you operate. Because, see, a lot of people ain't meant to go where you are going. They can't go. Their mindset is not there. They can't go with you. This is the reason why the Lord removed a lot of people out of a lot of individual lives. I know a lot of folks don't want to hear that, but the truth is what? The light. And the truth will always triumph over lies. I don't care how many lies you put out there. Your conscience let you do it, but your conscience gonna get whooped up when you get through lying the way you be lying, whether you be male or female. And when they see that individual that you done lied about, and 2 and 2 is not making 4, and 1 and 1 ain't making 2, they coming right back at you. See? That's God talking about folks' ignorance. But he said it in a gentle way, with grace. Folks, they lie on me 24/7. Seem like, look like they sit on the edge of their bed to me or in their chair and say, what can I lie on the apostle about today? What can I make her look some type of way? Jealousy. Decision. Bringing all that stuff to make themselves look good. But you, in fact, is the individual that you're talking about. That's what folks need to start seeing. Because it surely ain't me. I don't even wear them type of shoes. Don't need to. Verse 6. Y'all know I'm going to speak up on it. I ain't going to defend myself. I just got to speak out there because I know the lies. People, a lot of us is just going. People didn't put you in stuff you don't even know nothing about. Because they think they doing something smart. They have a head on their shoulders, but is they using it? They have a neck, but is it going in the right direction when you turn around and what you see and then you pick up what you don't need? Then it's hard to get rid of what you picked up. Throw out the trash, you all. Throw out the trash. And like the world say, somebody, another person trash is what? I'm not going to say it. I'm going to leave that one alone. Because when I start to laugh, that means the Lord is giving me, go another direction. Because some people really think that it is true, but it really isn't. Because the Lord can restore that trash. He can restore that individual to whom he needed to be. So I can't go even say the rest of it. I can't say the rest of that cliche. I'm in verse number 7. Verse 6, brother. Y'all just don't know how bad I want to say it, that part. I surely want to say it. All right. And the Lord say, clear it up real good. In other words, that person wasn't even trash. The person that they probably was with turned them into that to make them seem that they were like that. So they dumping them and saying they wasn't about nothing and they ain't never be nothing more. All a bunch of lies. God's word will clean a person in a minute. Cleanse them up and make them shine like new month. Thank you, Holy Ghost. All right. 6. Let him who is taught the word share in all good things. See, good things. And with him who teaches. He who teaches everyone about the good things of Christ. Verse 8. And I got the squeeze in there. I'm going to do Revelation 22 and 12, 13. And then I have to come back with 3. Part 3. That's from me talking. Oh, wow. Verse 8. For he who sows to his flesh will of the flesh reap corruption. But he who sows to the Spirit will of the Spirit reap everlasting life. And when you're going through that battle, remember, your flesh is what brings all that corruption, all that chaos, all that battle of war that you put yourself in is because of your flesh. Learn to tame your flesh. Women, learn to keep your caboodle closed. Men, stop thinking with the third leg. If I can be so blunt. Got to, because you get trapped up. Satan tricks you up with these type of people. If they easy to get, something's wrong somewhere. That's all. And I'm not going to close out until I give you verse 9. And let us not grow weary while doing good. It's good to do good for others. For in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart. Amen. Glory be to God. Now, I'm going to see if I can squeeze in Revelation chapter 22, 12, 13 in it. 22 double numbers. I like 22. I came into the earth on the day of the 22. Yeah. It's significant. I mean, double for my trouble. All right, we're in Revelation 12 and 13, and you all, I got to come back and bring y'all some signs of life battle. All right, I got to mark that in there. But before I even got started, I knew within my heart of heart that it's going to be 3. Thought it was going to be a conclusion. Anybody going to listen that long looking at black screen? Revelation 22 and 12. And behold, I'm coming quickly, and my reward is with me, to give to everyone according to his work. I am the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, of the first and the last. In other words, whatever you worked and how you worked it, the Lord's reward for you is always in his hand. And he said, behold, I'm coming quickly. Let me go up here to verse 11. He who is unjust, let him be unjust still. He who is filthy, let him be filthy still. He who is righteous, let him be righteous still. He who is holy, let him be holy still. In other words, the Lord is saying, stop trying to get them to do what it needs to be right, because they ain't doing it. I done seen in their heart they ain't willing. They don't want to put in the work to do what they need to do. All about the battle. It's the battle cry. You are in a battle, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Just like it's the battles on ground now. You warfaring, and they warfaring on the other side. You in a war. What would you battle with, and who would you crowd? And are you prepared? And would you be ready when it comes? This has been Apostle Diamond Scepter 1. May there be peace in the Middle East. I'm out, y'all.